In another video, the part one of this, I talked about the skills you need to succeed as a good marketer, especially if you want to be a growth leader, and how to build a good marketing team, right? The kind of skill set to hire and how to hire for a good led team. In this video, I want to talk about growth marketing killer stack, right? It's skills, but you need tools. It's good to have the skills, it's good to have like amazing people on your team, but these people are going to have to use tools to work. And as a good marketer yourself, someone who works in a good team and a marketing team for a startup, you need to know what tools to use when you want to do specific things, right? So this video would talk about different tools for different things: analytics, business intelligence, attribution, CRM and support, experiments, landing pages, ASO, content marketing, emails, etc., etc. So let's get into it. How to build a killer growth marketing tool stack. Hey folks, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is PC Timmy. I'm a multifaceted creator, a marketing professional, and a teacher, and I'm passionate about growing people and growing businesses. See, the goal is that anybody who comes across me or any piece of my content is inspired and or motivated to get better in their business, in their career, and in their life. As you watch this video, like and comment and share to your friends and family if you like it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Enjoy this video, and I'll see you. Peace. Let's talk about my favorite, which is analytics. For product analytics, behavioral product analytics, tools that you can use are Amplitude, Mixpanel, Google Analytics. There are probably a lot more, but like the ones I'm more conversant with that I also like and recommend: Amplitude, Mixpanel, Google Analytics. Google Analytics is great, it's a fundamental one, but if you really want to be able to like do actual product analytics, Mixpanel and Amplitude are much better. You can build cohorts with them. On Mixpanel, you can even do experiment. You can segment, build funnels, build charts, build different dashboards. You can do almost anything. As the only thing that you need to do in setup is make sure that your tech team has already integrated that Mixpanel or Amplitude and feeds all your events, like every single event, every single action that a user takes in your product, right? It's already on Mixpanel Amplitude. Once you have that and you know what every event means, you can answer any question. You can have multiple funnels across the board. You can segment based on frequency. You can find retention charts. You can find churn charts. You can build life cycle charts. You can build cohorts. You can do anything like product analytics. Amplitude and Mixpanel is great. Mixpanel, I like Mixpanel for the extra layer of just the experimentation and the messages that you can actually do. But I think that Amplitude is generally much simpler to use, but we can do an in-depth thing much later. Still under analytics, right? There's part of actually doing business intelligence. I've been able to get like hardcore server data and being able to query just the server data from your back end. Metabase is great if you can write QL. Power BI is also great. Tableau is great. Google Data Studio is great for being able to sort of like house all of your data across, or now it's called Google Looker Studio, no longer Google Data Studio. You can basically just use it to connect all of your different data points from everywhere, from the ads managers to the BIs to your server to Express to spreadsheets. It's really great for that. But generally, I would take Metabase and Power BI and Tableau for actual business intelligence and just being able to query and build your own very, very, very customized dashboard. Under analytics still, we've done product and behavioral, we've done Power BI, we've done business intelligence. The next one is attribution, being able to track the source of your traffic and your signups and your users, right? And for attribution, the top two that I really like and I've used in the past is AppsFlyer and Adjust. AppsFlyer is specifically mobile attribution, but Adjust actually works for both web and mobile attribution. It's really great because you can integrate both to iOS and Play Store. You can build custom links that works across different channels and being able to track every specific link and wherever user actually installs your platform for. You can even do cost analysis to be able to actually track the cost per install, per usage, and they just don't allow you to track installs as well, but they also help you track all other events. So it's the same thing, right? You integrate your app SDK to AppsFlyer or Adjust, or your web SDK to Adjust as well. And feed all your events to them. So when you see the source of attribution, like the source that this user actually came from, you can still see how that source influences other other events, right, in the funnel and down the funnel, and be able to actually compare different sources. You could even integrate AppsFlyer on Adjust to like Mixpanel and Amplitude as well, to be able to have all the attribution and product analytics in one place as well. Now, a bit away from data, another really cool part of growth is CRM and support. I think that customer support is obviously its own department, but sometimes you can use the same tools. You can work very closely. You should work very closely with every single person in the company, regardless of their team anyway, when you're in growth. For support, two big ones that are really popular and that I've used before is Intercom and Zendex. But I like Intercom because Intercom does more than just support and just chat. And I think now they even have or introducing tickets, but they do more than just chat. Intercom works like a CRM. It works as a CRM. So you can send push notifications, you can have in-app banners, you can have product walkthroughs on Intercom, you can send emails, and almost have your newsletter housed on Intercom as well. Another CRM tool that really works well for customer engagement is Airship and Firebase. Firebase is great for both, even though Firebase is a Google tool, it works for both iOS and Play Store and Android apps. So you can still do push notifications and in-app messaging. You can run very nice small experiments on Firebase as well. So it doesn't just work for push notifications and in-app messaging, it works for experiments as well. Airship is good as well. Airship is, I think, is a really big competitor, in my opinion, to Intercom when you think about like every other thing around engagement that is not necessarily chat. For emails, which is something that Intercom does as well, there's SendGrid, Sendinblue, Mailchimp. There are many of them, right? Choose your demon. None of them works perfectly in my opinion, but yeah, you can always use that for newsletters or use that to just send emails to your customers. Away from CRM and support and emails, something that's really important is landing pages. Now, you'll definitely have a website, right? But you want to be able to create landing pages at scale, landing pages for different things, maybe for a specific event, for a specific campaign to launch something. I don't want to always rely on like your tech team, right? You want to be able to create your own landing pages by yourself. You want to be able to A/B test your landing pages by yourself. And building landing pages, there are many of them. If you Google just build landing pages, you'll see lots of tools. The ones I've used in the past are Unbox and Lead Pages. They're really great. You can even build many websites with Strikingly. Even HubSpot has landing pages as well, if HubSpot is a CRM tool that you use in your company. Flowdex has mini landing pages or forms that can be designed as landing pages. Sendinblue has landing pages as well. So a lot of email marketing platforms actually still allow you to create landing pages, but in terms of just doing it at scale and being able to really experiment, do more technical A/B tests, I'll go for Unbounce and Lead Pages as the top two landing page platform. On being able to experiment with landing pages, you can also use Google Optimize or Optimizely to add specific banners or just do a few experiments on your own website, like the one that your tech people would actually build and host. You can use Google Optimize or Optimizely to actually like change a few things here and there. It's not so awesome, but it works. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Then there's content marketing, and which depends on what format you're building your content. If you're thinking about text and blogs, Medium is great for discoverability, not the best for SEO, but it works just like that. WordPress is great, but there might be some, WordPress is great as well. Generally, most people still use WordPress. And it just helps especially for SEO and control and lots of customization. Ghost is another platform that I've used, and I'm like, Ghost is actually pretty good, right? It's easy in a way that I don't think WordPress is, but it's also not as robust as WordPress is. But yeah, generally for like blogs and CRM, I would go for Medium, WordPress, and blog. If you're doing video, then you can decide on what place you're posting your video, which could be the social medias, which could be YouTube, pretty much. And then you can just embed on your blog or send links to the people that you want to send. When it comes to performance marketing, mostly the ads managers, and ads managers are their own tools, but maybe not a stack, because you will have to use them anyway. If you're running Facebook, you want to run ads on Facebook, you have to use Meta Ads Manager. You want to run ads on TikTok, you have to use TikTok Business Manager. You want to run ads on Instagram, Meta as well. Twitter Ads Manager itself. Google Ads on Google Search, on websites for display. Google Ads Manager, AdWords is there. Google Ads rather, it's no longer AdWords, no longer Ads Manager, it's Google Ads. Google Ads is there for UAC ads, for search ads, for display ads, for YouTube ads. But on display itself, there are also a lot of platforms. There's AdRoll, for instance, and there are programmatic advertising platforms that you can, and programmatic and DSP providers that you can connect to, and you run ads on the ad exchange, and it feeds to everywhere. There's also Bing as a search platform. For app install, there's UAC, but there's also Apple search ads as well. So ads manager, they're very plenty. The final one I'll talk about is just generally documentation and experimentation. I really like Google Sheets. I don't know how people survive with Google Sheets, which is Excel, but I mean I use Google Sheets. So basically Excel is a spreadsheet. Generally in life, you will find that you need it. I'm not sure how to explain it, but you will need it at some point. Maybe at some point you probably want to download maybe a dashboard from Amplitude and actually like see the hardcore numbers, and you have to download a CSV and take it to spreadsheet. Sometimes you want to just do budgeting and media planning and calculating how to spend your marketing budget, and spreadsheets will just be there. Sometimes you want to just like create a little chart from something. A chart just comes in handy before you even have a data analyst on your team. For instance, you realize that some things that you want to get from your back end, from your server, straight up, and you need to take it to spreadsheet. So it will just work. Even for sprint planning, right? Being able to build experiments dashboard and say, okay, this is our list of brainstorming ideas. This is how we're going to divide our ideas into, prioritize our ideas by impact, confidence, ease, being able to do stakeholders, all of that. Stakeholder management for your experimentation. Spreadsheet is still the best. I have a template for experimentation and it's best on spreadsheet. So like it just comes naturally. Airtable is something else that you might use as well, just depending on how much database management you're using and how many forms you need. Thank you. Talking about forms, Airtable has forms. There's Typeform, there's Google Form. You can use them from surveys, can use them for user interviews, can use them for sign-ups, can use them for lead generation. You can use them for anything. So forms is definitely something that you would have to choose which of them is great. Google Forms is great because it's easy. Typeform is great because you can integrate it almost anywhere. You can even have Google Analytics. You can do a lot of attribution. You can connect it to different platforms like ActiveCampaign. You can connect it to HubSpot. You can use Zapier to get from Typeform to somewhere else. Typeform is great. You can also customize it with your brand colors in just a way that you can't with Google Form. Airtable is great, just again in terms of large database and what you want to do with that as well. Notion and Google Docs and every other place for you to document. I think that a large part of building a growth organization, being a good team, or being a good marketer is being able to document. You should never run an experiment until you've documented the experiment, and then you should not move forward unless you've come back to document the results as well. It helps for just good clarity in thoughts, right? But also it helps because if you ever leave a company, if you have all your experiments, all your strategies, all your results, if you guys run good sprints, the next person who is coming can also just have this whole Bible of what you guys have ever done and be able to see, what they need to do. So documentation is a huge part. Like, document. Like, there's no other way to do. Just learn to document. I realize from just working with people and teams that it's not a skill that a lot of people have and like, but I think it's very important. Like, just don't, I have this idea, and then, okay, where's the idea? Is it documented? Where can somebody see it? How can they replicate it? How do they track? How do you know that it's done? So just learn to document. And Notion is great. Companies I work for use Notion. Google Docs is also great. Just, collaboration. And there are probably a lot of other ones. Microsoft Word document, if you want to go down lane at all as well. That's also another one. I think that's pretty much like the basic growth stack that you need. We've talked about analytics. We talked about business intelligence, we've talked about attribution, we've talked about support, we've talked about CRM and for push notifications and all of that. We've talked about emails, we've talked about content marketing, we've talked about ads management and PPC and programmatic advertising. We've talked about just running experiments. We've talked about landing pages, building landing pages. That's pretty much a really, really nice growth stack. Every other thing that you might ever need, I think it will come eventually. I would probably do some videos on each of these tools for each of these departments, like for analytics, like an in-depth into Attribution and Mixpanel. But before I ever do that, if you're thinking of what to choose and which one to choose, just one, ask the people who work with you, are they familiar with a specific tool already? I find that familiarity is a big thing because most tools are the same. So for instance, I didn't have to learn Amplitude or Mixpanel because I already knew Google Analytics. And so the first time I had to use Mixpanel, you'll find that there are a lot of patterns. And the first time I had to use Amplitude, yes, of course, you learn a few things, but it wasn't that hard because you kind of just transfer the basic learning, right? So if you know one, you can know other ones. Same thing with any email marketing tool. The first one I ever used was Mailchimp. Every other one going forward, anybody wants to build, is simple to use because regardless of the UI UX, the basics are kind of still the same how you maneuver them. The first place I ever sent a push notification was Firebase, but doing that on Intercom was really easy because again, it's kind of like the same thing. So if you know one tool in each theme, it's easy to know other tools. But one, familiarity is great, right? So you can just do any one, but if you already have people who work with you, you can just ask them the one they're already very conversant with and they're very good at, and use that too, right? Another thing is you can also just read a lot about the pros and cons and comparisons and see if there's specific features in Mixpanel, for instance, that are not in Amplitude, or they're in Zendesk that are not in Intercom, or they're in Firebase, or they're in Edgeship and not in Intercom, or there's in SendGrid but not in Mailchimp, or there's in Unbounce that's not in main pages. And you can, and basically based on your own specific needs or the product or how you guys want to run your analytics, you would always know the right one to actually go for. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have any specific questions? Was this video helpful? I really want to know. I did tools in any of this core themes or core departments that I mentioned that I did not mention. Please let me know in the comment section. I'm always looking for new tools to kind of like dive in and just learn and compare and see if there's something I can do better at. So also for my sake and also for the sake of everybody else who's watching this video, let me know in the comment section if there are other tools you've used. If other tools that I mentioned that you really like, tell me why you like them as well. Let's have a conversation about good marketing tools in the comment section. I hope this video was valuable to you though. If there's somebody that you think needs to watch this video, please share with them. Also, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.